It's February the 3rd, 2011, and this morning e-Forex have pleasure in interviewing Richard Olsen, Chairman and Co-founder of Oanda Limited and Olsen Limited. Richard, welcome. It's been said that one of the objectives of your business career has been to transform finance into a high-tech industry and make it into a true engineering science. How successful do you think you've been with this?
Intellectually, from a scientific point of view, it has been a great success. Couldn't have been more rewarding. But from a business point of view, turning the insights into products, it has been disappointing. And my big frustration is we have a big economic crisis going, and people haven't realized that modern technology is the answer to the crisis.
And how has Oanda and Olsen tried to address this problem?
Oanda is a market maker in foreign exchange. So what we have been trying to do is deploy high tech to become a much better and more efficient market maker in the space and to make innovations in how business is conducted. Olsen, we're a currency manager, and again there we implement a trading style that helps stabilize the financial markets and contribute to lowering market volatility and make the world a safer place to live, plus generate consistent returns.
Richard, why did you decide to set up the Olsen group of companies, and what services do they offer?
High-frequency finance is a new technology, very similar to biotech or computer science. It all is a new different approach of how you can extract from market data, you can extract value-add information and use this value-add information to provide a positive service to the market and generate return. This technology can be deployed in very many different ways. Now, this is the reason why I've been setting up different companies so that they can specialize in different disciplines. You have Olsen Financial Technologies. That's a company dedicated to just providing data for research companies or banks or hedge funds, that they can have a subscription service and don't have to think and bother about collecting data, just they have access to the data in the most efficient format. Oanda is all about market making, to build a market maker that's just far more efficient than the current suppliers and provides a level playing field. At Olsen, we're an asset manager. It's there we want to generate consistent returns with low risk, again using the technology. And by splitting up the companies into separate entities, it's possible that we can have dedicated services without conflicts of interest.
Richard, Oanda uses innovative computer and financial technology to provide online FX trading and currency information services. What type of client have you been traditionally attracted to, and how have you been expanding your customer base?
Traditionally, we've been in the retail space, so retail customers who heard of us over the net just came to us, and this is how we grew the business. Increasingly, we're getting institutional customers. Going forward, we will kind of expand the institutional space, largely in the lower segment, where they are underserved by the big banks.
And what kind of, are you talking about hedge funds and so forth?
Yes, it's the full universe of players, obviously largely focusing on those who are really interested in just focusing on excellent execution, narrow spreads, and good service by technology.
A few years ago, you famously co-published the Forex Traders Bill of Rights, which talks about traders having access to a free, open, and stable Forex market, operating with technological efficiency. Do you still subscribe to all of the concepts of that paradigm? And if so, how close are we to achieving it?
Very much so. And to be perfectly frank, I'm even more determined, because the economic crisis that we're undergoing is because technology in the financial industry has not been up to standard, and because it hasn't been a level playing field. So yes, fully determined to do everything to make it a success. I think going forward, there are big chances that there are changes. The reason is simple. People see that the regulatory changes that are being enacted today will not really succeed. They don't address the true problems. So a few people are becoming much more open. And I think let's hope that they'll succeed to initiate change and propel a real movement.
Do you find the environment is becoming a lot more competitive recently?
Yes, there has always been competition, and to extent the markets are more normalized now and people focus again on competing against each other. But the big threat is actually the regulatory changes and that the level playing field will be changed, and some players will try to take advantage of the regulatory changes to get a strategic advantage. So the issue is, how can we make the market more efficient and have a true solution to provide an efficient marketplace?
Richard, over the last couple of years, the ECN model has become very much more popular, with brokers promoting that to their clients as a feature, whereas Oanda appears for the moment to have stayed with a fixed spread model. Could you expand on that, and do you have any plans to provide an ECN style platform?
First of all, I have to say, to be provocative, the internet itself is an ECN. So today it's very easy for people to buy from this broker or sell with this broker. So people have that choice already. I think the key question is, are you a good market maker or not? Can you provide narrow spreads and efficient pricing? And this is the true challenge. And I believe the true focus of a market participant as Oanda is to be a good market maker. The rest of the market is the big ECN, which we all have access.
You've been working for many years to demonstrate persistent predictability in financial markets. Do you believe that this theory holds true in FX, which has a huge number of market participants seeking to achieve their own different risk management or investment objectives?
To be provocative, yes, I very much believe in predictability. And you have to understand the following issue. So first of all, the price curve, that is the evolution of a euro-dollar price curve from January to December, has a coastline, that is the full trajectory is 1,600%, whereas the distance which it travels in terms of movement up or down is only 30%. So there's a lot of excess movement. So yes, you can predict, but the question is how. And this is what took us so long. So today we know that there are kind of laws of markets, and we have published a paper on scaling laws. There is a huge universe of scaling laws providing you fixed properties of how these markets move. The scaling laws are inspired by fractal theory and give you a frame of reference telling you that if a price is moved, for example, down by 1%, how much further will it move after it had moved down by 1%? And it turns out on average it will move by another 1%. So it's using these scaling laws, which are kind of frame of reference, to build models that explain the dynamic behavior of markets.
Moving on to regulation, FX now stands at a regulatory crossroads, with the industry facing a critical time as it comes under the spotlight of lawmakers. What are your views about the increased regulation in retail FX, and do you believe the bespoke nature of FX products, many of which cannot be standardized, are really suitable for a centralized clearing model?
So in the retail space, yes, there has been a lot of abuse. But Oanda's policy has always been to be a kind of market maker who's responsible and doesn't sell products which themselves are irresponsible. Now, regarding the clearing model, the big issue has not been understood by the regulators. The big issue is that we need instantaneous settlement. So what I propose is to kind of create an open source platform which allows for instantaneous delivery. And this open source platform would be the regulated exchange, but it actually enables an over-the-counter model to be executed in an open environment where it fulfills the requirement that traditionally were attributed to an exchange.
And are you making any moves with your competitors in the industry to achieve such a standard, or is there any interest from governments, regulators, and the like in this proposition?
What I have discovered is that especially among the big banks, there's a big worry about the regulatory change, and they're very much open to truly address the underlying issue. So let's hope that, we can work together with them.
Richard, thanks very much for giving us some of your amazing insights. Give us an insight into yourself personally. You were born not far from here in Zurich. And what makes you buzz outside the business? What makes you buzz outside the Forex world?
To be very honest, Forex markets are just one example of my broader interest. It's very good to implement some of my ideas here, but my true interests go far beyond, to philosophy, to political science, of how to understand society at large and provide solutions. But then beyond that, what I love is just nature, is go out and bicycle or go out to the lake, swim. And then related to that is just family life. Have fun with family and friends and enjoy it.
Wonderful. Richard Olsen, on behalf of e-Forex and the Forex community, thanks very much for your time today.
Thanks.